It's 3 in the morning. The world outside is quiet and still. But inside your head, it's rush hour. Your mind is racing with thoughts. Did I remember to send that important email? What did my boss mean by that comment today? Am I doing enough for my family? The worries seem to multiply in the darkness, growing bigger and more overwhelming with each passing minute. You glance at the clock, feeling a surge of frustration as you realize you only have a few hours left before the alarm goes off. This is a story I hear so often from my patients. It's a lonely place to be, wide awake when everyone else is sleeping, trapped by a brain that just won't switch off. This experience is incredibly common. You might feel like you are the only person in the world going through it, but I assure you, you are not. So, what is anxiety? In simple terms, anxiety is your body's natural response to stress. Think of it as an internal alarm system. It's a feeling of fear or apprehension about what's to come. The first day of school, going to a job interview, or giving a speech may cause most of us to feel fearful and nervous. But for some, this alarm system becomes overly sensitive. It goes off even when there is no real or immediate danger. It's like the smoke alarm in your kitchen that shrieks every time you make toast. Now, let's connect the dots between that 3 a.m. worry club and the feeling of anxiety we've just talked about. Sleep and anxiety have a very close relationship. In fact, they are what we call bidirectional. This just means they can influence each other. A lack of sleep can make you feel more anxious, and feeling anxious can make it much harder to get to sleep. This creates a frustrating and self-perpetuating cycle that can be very difficult to break out of. Imagine you have a really bad night's sleep. You wake up feeling groggy, irritable, and on edge. Your patience is thin, and small problems feel like massive crises. This is because a tired brain is a more reactive brain. All right, let's look at what's happening inside your brain, and don't worry, I promise to keep the science simple and straightforward, so think of your brain as having 2 important parts for this story. First, there's the amygdala. This is your emotional watchtower. It's the part of the brain that scans for danger and fires up your anxiety and fear responses. Then, there's the prefrontal cortex, which sits right at the front of your brain. This is the rational, logical part. It's kind of like the wise, calm manager that can look at a situation and say, "Okay, amygdala, I see you're worried, but everything is actually fine. Stand down." Now, when you get a good night's sleep, especially deep sleep, the connection between these 2 parts of the brain works beautifully. The prefrontal cortex is in charge, keeping the emotional amygdala in check. However, when you don't get enough sleep, this vital connection is weakened. The prefrontal cortex doesn't get the chance to recharge. Meanwhile, the amygdala, your emotional watchtower, becomes hyperactive. One study showed that after just 1 night of poor sleep, the amygdala can be up to 60% more reactive. Breaking the cycle of anxiety and poor sleep doesn't require a massive overhaul of your life overnight. It's about taking small, consistent, and manageable steps. One of the most powerful things you can do is to create a wind-down routine. This is a buffer zone between your busy day and your time for sleep. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep. Make sure it is as dark, quiet, and cool as possible. Finally, be mindful of your daytime habits. Try to get some natural daylight exposure in the morning, as this helps to set your internal body clock. These are not quick fixes, but small pillars that, when put in place consistently, build a strong foundation for better sleep and calmer days. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. You are on the right path.